Red Dawn. So Red Dawn's a remake of the 1980s movie by the same name, Red Dawn. The old one starred Patrick Swayze and the Warlock. This new one stars Chris Hemsworth. The premise this time, as before, is the United States of America is taken over and invaded, so now it's up to these teenagers hiding in the hills to save the day. Premise sounds cool, it really does, but it's all about execution. I mean, I enjoyed Red Dawn back in the day. I watched it a few times. I thought it was cool. I'm not really overly attached to the movie or anything like that, so I think a remake could be really cool. Only thing is this isn't that. This isn't the cool remake you want. I just think it's really messy. It's like someone took a bunch of plot points, put them in a cup, and a bunch of skirmishes that you'll see in a movie like this, you know, all the battle scenes, they put them in a cup and they threw them all on the floor like a bunch of jacks. They're like, all right, yeah, in that order, that's our movie. That's what's gonna happen. So just put it on paper, make it happen. And here we go, we got Red Dawn. You don't care about any of the characters. The strongest character is, of course, Chris Hemsworth. The rest of the characters, I couldn't tell you who they are, who plays them, and if they die in the movie or not. Like, they'll be like, oh, we lost 2 guys back there. Did you? I didn't take a head count or anything, but I thought you were all here. Yeah, off the top of my head, I can't tell who's missing. And you don't get the isolated feeling you got in the other Red Dawn. You get that feeling they were in the hills for quite a while, you know? They find that pilot, and then Swayze comes out all like Chief Running Bear, all like, what are you doing here? What's your name? You're like, I can tell by the way you're poised. You have leadership status, my friend. You are the leader of this group, aren't you? Chris Hemsworth's character in this movie, in order to establish his dominance, he always just pushed his brother to the ground. He's all, you think you understand? I'm like, oh, that's it. Just kind of kick the shit out of your brother. I gotcha. That makes you the leader. That means you have leadership quality. I mean, he's obviously the most skilled out of all of them because he's the soldier. But that whole, oh, I don't really get along with my brother story arc's really gonna go nowhere in this movie, so let's just speed it along and just not have it in there. You don't care about the characters and you don't really feel like what they're doing matters. I mean, the comedian from Watchmen tells them like, oh, you guys are really making a difference out here. That being said, there is this whole middle section of the United States that's still actually free from oppression, and there are Marines out there in pockets of resistance. But hey, you know, good job here. You get the feeling that if these kids didn't do anything at all, there are these other pockets of resistance out there, they'd pick up the slack and they'd get the job done. You don't feel like the main kids in the movie are going to single-handedly play the most vital role in liberating the United States. You don't feel like they're inspiring anyone. No one's writing anyone's name on a rock when they die. There's no real sacrifice, and you don't give a shit about any of the characters. If you're down for watching teenagers do a couple of skirmishes in a town, well, yeah, that's fine. That's this movie. Knock yourself out. And in the end of this movie, you'll consider this kind of spoilerish, but I'm telling you, you shouldn't. You should not give a shit. You're going to give a shit, but I'm telling you, you shouldn't give a shit. In the end, keeping it vague, they're like, we need to get this box. And hey, if they get the box, well, job well done. The movie's over. Stupid. That's it. So this movie has a couple of cool things. By a couple of cool things, you're like, oh, that was really cool. The way that car blew up and flipped on another car. It's entertaining in the most mindless way possible, filled with characters you don't care about, and a premise that just wasn't executed very well. It's a movie of irrelevance and really guilty pleasure if you find pleasure in this movie. I will say Red Dawn is a good time if you're drunk. Yeah, now it's a party. Wolverines! Oh, I think I threw up just now. A little bit in my mouth. So this is a good question for you. Red Dawn being a remake, what is your favorite remake? Whatever it is, comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more.